as we welcome in pitching guru Rick Peterson, who lives just a stone throw away, work with the Orioles these days. Rick, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great, Mike. How are you doing?
All right. It's been an odd season. It's been a lot of teams that were supposed to do well have done poorly. A lot of teams that you have surprised. Some pitchers have surprised. Some others have struggled. How about Strasburg's struggles this year?
Yeah, that really surprises me. I don't know if it's just the fact that he just couldn't get going, or it's a confidence issue. But that to me is one of the most shocking of all, because he's got the kind of stuff and he's got the kind of makeup. But sometimes the mind plays funny tricks on it, and I think that's more the case. I think it's more mental than physical, because his stuff is there.
Last year we sat and talked about Harvey. He had just come up,
right.
And I was high on Harvey, so were you. But he's exceeded even our thoughts this year with what we expected. Are you a little surprised that he's been this good, this together all season?
You know what? Anytime anybody is that dominating, it always is surprising. But when you take a look at his stuff and his location and his makeup, his delivery, he's able to repeat his delivery. I mean, he's got 4 swing and miss pitches, not only out of the strike zone but in the strike zone. So when you're that dominant, I mean, that's really a special guy right now. And I think the fact that he's doing it in New York, that's a whole different dynamic than it's doing it somewhere else.
He's got great confidence.
Absolutely.
A lot of command. Especially, I like the All-Star night where he was in trouble and he's facing the middle of that order, including Miguel Cabrera with a couple of guys on base. And I thought, here he is. He gives up a hit. Hits a batter, and really he bared down. He pitched brilliantly. I thought that said a lot about him right there.
It definitely did, because one of the things that we always say as pitching coaches to pitchers, it's good to have butterflies, but they got to fly in formation.
Right.
And it was obvious they were not flying in formation when that inning started. But he was able to gather himself, compose himself, and get focused on executing quality pitches. And Miguel Cabrera, there's no question, one of the best hitters of our days.
Yeah, sensational. What is important in your mind? I know it's not your team, but just from as the Mets cultivate these young guys like Harvey and Wheeler, what's the most important thing? Is it making sure they get their foundation and their rest and don't go too many innings? Is that paramount in their development here?
I definitely think it is, because when you take a look at 32, 33 starts, you're going to have about 50% of them are going to be on 5 days rest, and the other 50% are going to be on 4 days rest. But I think the biggest factor with the kind of year that Harvey's having right now, he needs to cross that finish line without a hiccup. And I think they're doing a phenomenal job of making sure that happens, so that he comes into spring training, and now he might have a ball club that maybe can compete in that division.
What helps more, Rick? Is it give him more days between starts, which he doesn't like, or is it limit him to 6 innings in these starts the rest of the way? Which one is more helpful to him?
Well, I think it's the combination, and I think it's not only the innings, but you take a look at the pitches. And now, because we have so much data, you can go back and take a look at how many pitches has he had last year, where is he pitched total this year,
right.
And also the kind of stressful innings that they are.
Bingo.
And I think that's really vital. But I remember, like years ago, Tommy Glavine never wanted to pitch on 5 days rest, and his numbers on 4 days rest were off the charts, good, and his 5-day rests were not. And we sat down with Tommy, and we adjusted the way he had his routine in between starts, and then his numbers on 5 days rest were superlative. So I think it's a matter of sitting down with the pitcher, getting to know exactly how he thinks, the kind of preparation that he needs, and make sure that you design a schedule that fits him perfectly.
When a young guy comes up and he has obviously a wicked fastball, like a Wheeler, and you're watching him as he tries to develop that other pitch, are you going to work? Is the next thing for you the changeup automatically, even more than the breaking ball? Do you want him to have that changeup even more than the breaking ball?
No question. Because when you talk to hitters always talk about pitch recognition. The one pitch that you cannot recognize is fastball spin, which is a changeup. And even when you take a look at when Verlander won the Cy Young Award, the biggest thing that he said was, what was the difference between being really good and Cy Young? Changeup, without question. And in our pitching development program, it's fastball command first, changeup development second, and then the development of a quality breaking ball.